Hello there, welcome to Ursus Brown Travel. We are in Barcelona and we just went to do some shopping for the road trip planned for today. We are taking a taxi to the airport because we have rented a car for the day from the Hertz company. It is raining today in Barcelona and we are going to see if we can find some sun in Andorra. We stayed 5 days in Barcelona, of which one day was dedicated to a trip to Andorra. The journey by car to Andorra takes over 2.5 hours, so it is important that you have enough food and drink for the road. For a reasonable price, the taxi took us to the rental company near the airport. We were given a nice Seat for 24 hours at a price rate of 155 euros. After 1.5 hours, we thought it was time to get out of the car and go to the bathroom. Besides that, it was time for a nice cappuccino, but not for too long because we still had some time to go. After a long drive, where we were also mistaken about the turnoff for a while, and thus spent an hour long on the road, we had finally arrived in the capital of Andorra, namely Andorra la Vella, the capital of the dwarf state of Andorra. The dwarf state is located in the middle of the Pyrenees and has a population of almost 25,000 people. The capital is located in the dwarf state of Andorra, officially the Principality of Andorra. The country lies between the south of France and the north of Spain. After the long drive, we had gotten incredibly hungry. Unfortunately, we quickly found a pleasant restaurant. Right in the center is the restaurant Refugee Alpi, and it was a good stay here. We grabbed some snacks and were glad we found the sun. If you don't mind some longer car rides, it's perfectly doable as a day trip from Barcelona. The country isn't very big, so I wouldn't go on vacation here anytime soon. If you can visit it while you're in Barcelona for a city trip, that's great. After resting and filling our bellies, it was time to explore Andorra la Vella. First on the agenda was the shopping street, and shopping is what you can do here. Time for action. After my girlfriend and I both bought some things, it was time to test the Starbucks in Andorra. I always like the vibe of Starbucks, wherever it is. If there's a possibility, we make sure to grab a coffee here. Once again, we took a little rest to explore the older part of Andorra la Vella later. Because this capital city is not so big, you can do everything on foot, although I assume that you have a good mobility. There is a difference in height between the shopping street and the older part of the city. Our first stop was the Saint STV of Andorra church. If you walk right past the church, into the alley, you come in the old neighborhood of Andorra la Vella. Here are a number of stores and restaurants. In addition, there are also a number of attractions such as Placeta Sant Esteve and Casa de la Vall. Casa de la Vall is a museum. In this museum, you can learn a lot about the history of the Principality. For the opening hours, I refer you to the website that I will put in the description of the video. After some walking and climbing around in the old part, it was time to go back to the car. Once again, we had a 2.5 hour drive ahead of us. This time, we were a lot more tired than in the morning and were looking forward to getting back to Barcelona. Fortunately, we drove through beautiful landscapes and we thought visiting Andorra was worth it. All we had to do was fill up the car and we could start our drive back home feeling satisfied. What was left for us was a nice dinner. This time we chose the Mongolian barbecue. Anyone doing or going to do a city trip to Barcelona, I recommend this place. You can take your own plate and put it together with vegetables and different meats. Then you can choose between rice and other options. The friendly people who work there will do the cooking for you. It was really incredibly delicious, and the guy who prepared it was super friendly. After a long day in the car and in the mountain state of Andorra, this was exactly what we needed. This is also the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything from Ursus Brown Travel.